show you today. Make sure you subscribe. A-Dubb Productions. Got a whole lot to show you. A-Dubb Productions. You gotta stay tuned in. A-Dubb Productions. Make sure you hit that bell too. A-Dubb Productions. Welcome to the show. Thank you.
So you want to become an influencer. You want to become a content creator. You want to become a YouTuber. You want to become a TikToker. You want to become an Instagrammer. Are you sure? Let's talk about it.
Yes, delicious. Back here again, ready for some more shipments. Let's do it.
All right, so let's get to the topic at hand, guys. You want to become an influencer, a social media superstar, content creator. You want to make videos on TikTok, on Instagram, or whatever platform you want to make videos on, YouTube that we're at right now. Why? Why do you want to become an influencer? That's the first question that you have to ask yourself. And you got to kind of like, you really have to decide why it is that you want to do this, right? Because if you're looking for money, it's not going to be what you think it is, especially initially. Every influencer is not getting paid the way it might appear, right? Every influencer is not wealthy. Every influencer is not a good influencer. Every influencer should not be influencing. So let's get into a few reasons why people might look into becoming an influencer. Reason number one, because you guys see influencers online getting a lot of free stuff, and you like free stuff. All right, so let me tell you straight off the bat, when you first start making videos about products or services, or even start making vlogs, no one's going to watch your videos. That's just a sad reality. No one's going to watch your videos because you haven't built up anything. You haven't made a name for yourself, so that you're not even in the specific platform's algorithm. So it's going to take you a while to build up some type of momentum, so when people start to watch you and companies start to watch you, you're even on their radar. You're not going to be on anybody's radar initially. So it's going to take some time for you to build your influence up, or build your platform up, or build your audience up enough for a company or an individuals, because that's all companies are, a group of individuals, to even offer you anything. The reason why they're offering you things is for those eyeballs. They want people to see their products so they can make sales, or they can generate leads, and they can build awareness about their brand. So if you have no audience, which is what you're going to start off with, don't anticipate getting free things anytime soon. Don't have a problem with that starting period, because that starting period could be very, very depressing. You're going to try different things. You're going to be giving your full-time effort and trying different things to try to gain people's attention, and it's going to take a while before it starts to work. So if you're looking to get free stuff, you're not going to get free stuff for a while. So yeah, that's not a good reason to be an influencer anyway, because if you start taking free stuff from everybody, from every company, it's just going to be, your video is just going to be generic. There's some influencers that take everything they receive. I turn down more than I accept. And as of lately, I don't even accept any other things unless it's like something significant that I can use in my business, or it's something significant that I feel like my audience can benefit from. So if you plan on being an influencer, you want to be an influencer to get free stuff, those are the things you got to consider. Because you think you're going to get rich. Influencers are rich, right? Wrong. All influencers are not rich. I'm not rich. But then again, rich is relative. What is rich, right? If you want to drive a Lamborghini, if you want to, live in a big fancy house, drive all the nice cars, have a whole bunch of money, bunch of women, yeah, that's not the majority of influencers. The majority of influencers are regular people. The majority of influencers have regular jobs. Once you become successful as an influencer and your influence starts generating revenue, maybe you can grow to the point where your main job is influencing or making videos about products and services, or even just making vlogs, because I believe people that just do vlogs and don't even show products and services, they're influencers too, because they're showing you a lifestyle. They're influencing you to, you know, want to live a certain lifestyle, or influencing you by showing you a certain type of lifestyle, and you're getting something out of it. Even if it's just entertainment, they're still, and people, entertainers are very influential, right? That's why they get endorsements from different large companies like Nike and stuff like that, right? Football players, basketball players, they're all entertainment. Singers and rappers, all entertainment. Actors and actors and actresses, entertainment. UFC fighters, boxers, entertainment. All these different types of people have huge influences on what people do. But yet and still, the average influencer is not rolling in the dough like you think they are. I don't want this video to like crush anybody's dreams. So let's talk about a few positive things about being an influencer, right? Building a community and making content that people appreciate, that can help people and are beneficial to their lives, right? Helping people supplement or replace their income by garment decorating, like what I do. It's a very, very good feeling when you know a group of people are benefiting from the videos and the information that you put out. It's very, very fulfilling, right? So if you are hanging more on that and you're doing it more so because you love it and more so because of the impact that you're making, then you should definitely consider being an influencer, because if the world had more people making content because of the fact that it can benefit other people, then the world would be a better place, and there would be a whole bunch of better content and better information online. So if you're one of those people, then you make a good candidate of becoming an influencer. You're a very, very good candidate, because honestly, the reason why I do it is I try to put out some beneficial information, some things that help me out, that are going to help other people out and help them achieve their goals. Very, very good stuff. Very, very fulfilling. Feels good when somebody says, hey, that helped me out a lot. If you're somebody who doesn't like seeing somebody else do the things that you do, then you probably should not become an influencer. Personally, it's been plenty of times where I make videos showing certain techniques or showing certain ways to do things or showing certain methods that I use to do things. And I'll see another video come out where somebody is doing the same exact thing, but they're not giving any credit to the place where they learned it from. So if you're the type of person that's going to feel some type of way or feel discouraged about that, then you definitely should not become an influencer, because, like I said, you have to be a giving person. And if you're not a giving person, if you're going to be salty or be let it affect you in a negative way, an emotional way, seeing other influencers or other just general people doing and benefiting from the things that you've taught them or the information that you put out, if you feel like you deserve something extra from these people, then you should not be an influencer. The information that you put out as an influencer should be for the benefit of the general public, and you should do so expecting nothing in return. All right? That's just my opinion. Well, this is a good one. If you are not willing to take criticism, if you're not willing to take criticism and you can't take criticism, you shouldn't be in the public eye at all, right? Because if you're an influencer, you're going to get haters. You're going to get people that tell you shouldn't be doing this or you shouldn't be doing that, or you did something this way and you should be doing it that way. But in most cases, the people that are telling you that never made a video a day in their life, and they're just spectators and observers, and everybody's entitled to their opinion when you put yourself out there. So if you're not letting people give their opinion, then you probably shouldn't be an influencer. But don't forget this. People should, nothing wrong with people giving their opinions, but they should do so respectfully, right? And I think that's where there's a fine line, right? When somebody offers you their opinion and gives you a suggestion versus somebody being flat out rude. And oftentimes, be prepared to get flat out rude comments, flat out rude advice, and flat out advice that sometimes doesn't even make any sense. So if you're sensitive to that, that's something to consider about being an influencer, that you're going to have to like build some thick skin, right? And you're going to have to be very strategic in your answers, because in general, you want to be a nice person to everybody, right? Even if somebody might be a little bit rude to you, you want to kind of, brush it off, or kind of like, kind of give them a certain level of respect, even though they might not be doing the same to you, right? So yeah, there's a fine line between that, and you got to be creative, but you'll figure out your groove. That's one thing you got to consider if you want to be an influencer. It's very, very tough and time consuming being an influencer. You have to shoot cameras, right? You have to learn how to function cameras and shoot video. You have to edit the video. You have to take reshoots if stuff didn't go right. You got to condense your footage to different platforms and stuff like that. You got to keep these ideas, come up with these ideas, share these ideas, and all that stuff. Articulate your videos and learn a certain style that works best for you. It can get pretty stressful at times, right? So something else to consider if you want to be an influencer. Here's a good one right here. When you become an influencer and your influence starts to grow, sometimes it can seem like your audience feels like you're obligated to give them certain type of information that they're asking for. So that's kind of a weird situation too, because as you're growing, you want to produce content that people are watching and people want to watch, right? So you can take that criticism and take that information and implement those asks inside of your videos. But you have some people that asks for things in a certain way where it's more of a demand than an ask, right? There are certain ways to do things and ask for things, and not everybody can articulate those things in a way that's respectful and considerate of the influencer that's making the videos. I think over time, some people's audience can feel like you're obligated to make these videos for them, and you're obligated to give them certain type of information, and they can almost like demand that information as opposed to ask for that information. So there's a fine line, and I advise that you are careful with the way you react and the way you respond to these asks, or even sometimes these demands, all right? Because it can be demanding. Another thing about being an influencer, be prepared for and don't be afraid of watching other up-and-coming influencers grow, catch up to you, and pass you and surpass you. It's just a thing. Some people are going to be talented. Some people are going to be good at ripping off other ideas. Some people are going to be more creative than you. Some people are going to be more likable than you. Or some people the algorithm can take to certain videos more than yours. Maybe it might be them, the way they look, nationality. There are all types of different variables, right? Some people can even look at myself and say that I grew so faster than them. There were up-and-coming influencers that I used to communicate with that stayed at a certain point, and I shot up and grew. There are certain influencers that weren't influencers and became influencers and shot past me, and it's just something that's going to happen. So if you're somebody that's going to have an emotional breakdown, a psychological breakdown over something like that, that's just life. That happens in everything. So you should take that with a grain of salt as an influencer. And that's something to consider if it's going to bother you, that you probably shouldn't be an influencer. Once you start making money as an influencer, you have to be very, very careful, or you can get yourself in legal trouble. What I mean is that when you're paid from your many different revenue streams as an influencer, you have to make sure you're setting aside money for Uncle Sam to pay your taxes. If you're not somebody that's going to be good at money management, good at setting aside money for taxes, good at accounting and things like that, you should put somebody in place to do those things for you, or you should brush up on all those skills. You have to be a good money manager. You have to be strong enough and disciplined enough, I should say, to allocate those funds to the side for taxes. So if you're somebody that's not good at that, then you should definitely not be an influencer, because that could come back to haunt you big time. If you're not an honest person, you should definitely not be an influencer. You got people online nowadays paying for follows, paying for videos to be boosted. It's one thing for you to pay for advertisements to advertise your videos, but it's a whole nother thing to pay for views. If you're somebody that's going to pay for views, then you should definitely not be an influencer, because that is false advertisement. That is portraying to be a large time, big time influencer by your video views going up when they're not legitimate views. You're going to get yourself kicked off the platform. You're going to look weird when the amount of people you got liking your videos doesn't equate to how many people are watching your videos. When you have so many subscribers on your channel, but the video is not getting that much watches, you guys know what I'm talking about, especially on Instagram. When you have a bunch of followers on Instagram and then you post something and you only got like 20 likes or 30 likes, but you got 100,000 followers, something's just not adding up. And as an influencer, you could become, or you could appear to be, really, really famous or bigger than you are. But the worst thing about being famous or about being a big time influencer is not having the financial backing to show or to keep up with a certain lifestyle. That could be very, very dangerous, and it could become very, very depressing. All right, so it's better to go slow and build your career slowly so that your finances match your fame and popularity, because that's one thing that happens on social media a lot. I've seen it happen all the time, that people become really, really big, really, really fast, but their pockets and their wallet doesn't match up. So that is one thing, a very, very important thing about being an influencer. Just slow and steady wins the race. Make sure what you're doing makes sense, and make sure you are creative enough to be compensated in a way, or figure out what your revenue streams are going to be, and figure out how. And you're not going to be able to figure these things out off the back, because most people, when they start, they don't even know what they want to make videos about. They're just starting because they want to do this thing, right? So be careful as you grow, and as you grow, make sure your finances, as that celebrity status or that influencer status builds up, your finances match it, because you don't want to be in a position where people are expecting you to look a certain way, to dress a certain way, to drive a certain car, to live a certain type of lifestyle, to get a whole bunch of stuff to make videos on, but you can't really afford that lifestyle. That's setting yourself up for big time failure in life, so you don't want to do that. So guys, just a few things I want to talk to you guys about being an influencer. I hope these things are very, very useful to you. I hope you found some use out of it. If you did, if there's anything I missed, other influencers see this video, leave them in the comments down below. Why do you want to become an influencer? I'm not trying to discourage anyone from becoming an influencer, but I'm just letting you know things that you should be aware of, things that I didn't know, and things that I think would be beneficial to up-and-coming influencers. Make sure you're doing it because you love it. Make sure you're talking about things that make sense to you. Make sure you're being authentic and real and honest with your audience, and you'll have a great influencer career. All right? Talk to you guys on the next video. Peace.
Turn up that, crank it up. Why listen to the rest when you're rocking with the best, baby?